Is it just me, or was there a time when the internet was filled with memes about video games and TV shows? Is that still happening? Like, is it really? Because I can't find it. Maybe all the people have left and they're doing that some other place, but I really can't find it anymore. The more arrows to the knee type of memes. Man, there were so many of them that at the time it was sickening. Now I want them back. But I think it's because of the drop in quality. There's not really that much going on right now, and it's also because of the pandemic, not gonna lie, but it's also because AAA has lost creativity. So it's very difficult for my channel to talk about things. I'll talk about this, every now and then I take a glimpse at the comics scene. And usually I don't really cover them because there's other YouTubers that cover it better than I do. And not to mention, like, why would I cover something that no one is interested in? I would be very not surprised if I find out that the YouTubers talking about the comic scene get more views than comics actually sell comics. Isn't that fascinating? And I'll show you why, right? Like right here is the main reason why you see the comic industry failing so bad that one manga, and I'll keep repeating this because it's just mind-blowing, one manga sold more than the entire comic industry put together. It's just... Pfft. And the reason is that they hire people like this, all right? Now, I don't know who this lady is. I don't know. Maybe she's like the most awesome talent in the entire universe when it comes to Star Wars. Because there's literally no way that you would have an employee that behaves like this as an image of the company. It's kind of interesting, like you can have a plumber. He goes on Twitter, says something retarded, and all of a sudden, everyone goes, it's like, oh my god, why does the company hire this guy? Like, is this the image of Plumbing Inc? But when you have someone that is renowned and going on Twitter saying this type of crap, it's perfectly fine. I mean, this is not just the image of the company. This is, like, they wouldn't hire anyone else at this point. So let me tell you from a business point of view why this is wrong, all right? She picked beef with EthanVanSciver. Now, EthanVanSciver, if you're not aware, if you're new to this channel, he's also a YouTuber. And he worked at DC Comics, helped create Green Lantern, actually created many of the superheroes you probably grew up with. And because of his attitude, all right, because he's not very progressive, he got fired from DC. So, again, let me put it this way. It's not because the man is not talented. All right? Like, the man shits talent. Like, I have seen the guy draw with his foot. Like personality aside, all right? Like, if it was a robot that could draw what EthanVanSciver draws, that robot would be sold for millions of dollars. Like, the only complaint that people have about Ethan is that he's an asshole. But if I run a business... I run a business that is about drawing comic books. I don't care if he's an asshole. All I care about is if he can put the comics. Put the comics, shut the fuck up. That's how you run a business. That's how people used to run a business when I grew up. Now it's the other way around. It's like, oh, but is the person progressive? Does he say the correct things? Does he speak the correct language? That, and it doesn't matter what he does. I actually watched the anime recently. You should watch it as well. It's got like 10 episodes, but it's funny as hell. It's called Cautious Hero. The hero is overpowered, but overly cautious. And the main character behaves like an asshole, but is incredibly heroic. Like, he's being a dick to everyone. Like, he just says all the wrong things. But he's being heroic. And I was thinking, it's like, yeah, that would be a villain in Western comics. Because in Western comics, it's all about what you say, how you address other people, how you speak, don't be offensive. Your actions don't matter. And this anime is quite the opposite. Like, the actions are what matter, not what a person speaks. But anyway, right, so EthanVanSciver, right, very talented individual, manages to go independent, makes one comic, first issue sells over $1 million. That's insane for a piece of paper. And the thing is, like, he's got a big fan base. A lot of people like him. Of course, some people hate him, but, like, people like him because of what he produces, and also they like him because of his personality. So when you from another company, Bria, go on and you're harassing this guy because you're like, nothing going to change until people like Ichi and EthanVanSciver, who have hurled abuse for years, are deplatformed. And nothing also going to change until certain parts of the fandom also have to confront their own racism. This crap has gone far too long. So, in one tweet, like this is astonishing, in one tweet, you're basically saying that if you're a fan of EthanVanSciver, you don't deserve to see him. Like, that is to be someone between you and EthanVanSciver and take EthanVanSciver away from you. That's number one. That's strike uno. Strike dos is that you're saying that your customers, the people paying you money, are racists. How can you live with yourself, Bria? How can you live sleeping with racist money? Donate them to a charity right now, Bria. Right now, donate it to a BLM charity. Not one single dollar from racists, Bria. What are you doing? How can you work in a profession knowing you provide entertainment for people that are racist? Like you're trying to unwind, you do the massage on the racist, trying to unwind him so that he can go out and be fresh, like be energized so he can promote the racism. That's the problem. You know, this is the interesting thing about these people that believe their community is filled with racists. I don't think my community is filled with racists or bad people. Because if I legitimately thought that my community is filled with satanic cannibals, I would stop doing these videos. I'd be like, oh my god, like I don't want money from satanic cannibals. What on earth is going on? You know? But like, how can people like Bria justify themselves before they go to sleep? It's like, you know what, like the comic that I make, it's for racists. You know, like how do they make the mental gymnastics? But we know that this is not what it is, right? Like they probably don't think that their community is racist. They just have disdain for their community. Because you need to understand, these people, they want to be treated like Hollywood actors used to be treated, like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone. You know, when they walk on the street and everyone's like, oh my god, it's Arnold, give me an autograph. You know, that's how they want to be treated. They want to be treated like they're royalty, like they're God's gift to the comic book industry. It's like, oh my god, Bria, oh, you're so wonderful and you're so amazing. What are your opinions on world politics? Can you please tell me more? Like, this is literally how they want people, how they want people to treat them. And when people don't treat them like that, and people go like, you know what, I think your comic book sucks, I'm just going to read something else. Racist! You're a racist! You know, like, that's what it is. And, by the way, like, there are people that maybe would have read your comic book, like, maybe they would have got interested into what you have to say, but when they see you attacking people they like, they take it personal. And then they're going to be, you know what, I'm not going to read this lady's comic book. Like, why should I? Why should I give her money so that she can get a platform and ask for EthanVanSciver to be out of a livelihood? Because that's what she's doing. You know, it's so interesting because in 2021, in order to harass people, you have to pretend you're a victim. There is no way. Like, if EthanVanSciver does something illegal to you, call the cops. How about that? But they're not going to do that because EthanVanSciver does nothing illegal. All he does is criticize people. Remember, like, back in the old days, we used to mock people that attack their critics? Like U-Ball. Yeah, U-Ball was the one that invited his critics to boxing matches. And everyone was laughing at him. Why? Because U-Ball was a mediocre person. And he would get criticism about his shitty movies. And he couldn't handle the criticism. So he lashed out at the critics. And everyone was mocking and laughing at him. It's like, oh my god, this guy. But nowadays, literally the entire comic book industry is filled with thin-skinned people that if you label any sort of criticism towards them, they behave in this manner. Which is completely unacceptable. And, yeah, it's destroying the industry. That's what it's doing. It's turning people away. Like, your presence on Twitter should be the opposite. It should be to attract people. Look, if I was DC or Marvel, give these people a part of the sales. Give them 5%. Give them some shit. I don't know what their contracts are. But, like, if they were actually going to get money based on how many people read their garbage, maybe they would actually put in some effort and write something of quality. Because right now, I think they have a fixed wage. I think, like, regardless on how they behave, regardless what they say, they get the same amount of money. So they don't care. And then these people usually fell upwards as well. It's like, oh, they got fired from DC, they get hired from Marvel, you know? So that's the main beef. That's the problem. They don't care how many people read their comics. Someone like EthanVanSciver cares a lot because he's independent, right? If he pisses the fans off, no one buys his comic anymore. That's a problem. But anyway, right. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the comment section.